Introduction and disclaimer. This video shows all devices in a non-production environment. The devices, in most cases, are off or are fully unplugged from any external power source in order to clearly show the removal and replacement procedures and other aspects of the devices. The instructions in this video are current as of September 2014. Please consult the product manuals for the latest updates and instructions. Before watching this video, you should have already watched the caveats, disclaimers, and warnings video for required information. Before performing any maintenance, you will need to locate and identify the unit with the failed component. If necessary, have the customer take you to the unit with the failed component. If the work order provides an appliance serial number, verify that the serial number on the work order matches the serial number on the appliance. The serial number is an SYM number that is printed on a label located on the vertical post in the middle of the rear panel of the appliance. All semantic storage shelves are shipped with a protective bezel that should be installed on the front of the devices. These bezels help channel air into the devices and provide some protection from accidental damage. The semantic storage shelf bezels also provide a certain level of intrusion detection by employing a keyed access. The key will restrict access to those individuals that possess the correct key used to unlock and remove the bezel. To remove the bezel, insert the storage shelf key into the lock and rotate the key to right or to the left, depending on the condition of the lock, to release the bezel locking mechanism. You should be able to pull the right-hand side of the bezel out and away from the front of the storage shelf. Place the bezel off to the side and out of the way. Now that the bezel has been removed, you can confirm the chassis number of the storage shelf with the number on the work order, if noted there. On a NetBackup 5330 primary storage shelf or an expansion storage shelf, the chassis number is located on a label on the front lower right corner of the shelf. Attention! Possible equipment damage. This procedure is performed with the power turned on. You must complete the procedure within 15 minutes to prevent the possibility of overheating the equipment. Locate and unpack the new expansion canister. Set the new expansion canister on a flat, static-free surface near the expansion canister that is installed in the storage shelf. Save all the packing materials as you will need to return the expansion canister. There are two expansion canisters located on the back panel of the expansion storage shelf. You can determine which of the two expansion canisters is faulty by checking the expansion canister service action required LED. If a fault is detected, the amber expansion canister service action required LED is on. If you can safely remove the expansion canister, the blue expansion canister service action allowed LED is on. On the failed expansion canister, label all of the attached cables with information on temporary labels so that you can connect the cables correctly on the replacement expansion canister. Remove all cables attached to the expansion canister. Now, locate the new expansion canister and prepare the canister for installation by moving the orange tabs out and towards the outside of the expansion canister. Place the canister close by so that you can install the new expansion canister immediately after removing the faulty expansion canister. Once the blue ESM Service Action Allowed LED is lit, you can remove the expansion canister from the storage shelf by pressing the orange tabs out and towards the outside of the expansion canister, while pulling the expansion canister toward you. While removing the expansion canister, you might notice an increase in fan speed. The fan speed returns to normal after you have replaced the expansion canister. Now locate the new expansion canister and prepare the canister for installation by moving the orange tabs out and toward the outside of the expansion canister. Insert the new expansion canister into the expansion storage shelf by sliding the replacement expansion canister all the way into the expansion storage shelf until the levers on the expansion canister latch securely on both sides of the canister. Reconnect the SAS cables to the replacement expansion canister and remove the temporary labels. It will take approximately 30 seconds to a minute for the expansion canister to complete its initialization. Now check the expansion canister power LED and the expansion service action required LED on the new expansion canister. The expansion canister power LED should be on, and the expansion canister service action required LED should be off if the component is installed correctly. The 7-segment LED display should display the number 00 when the expansion canister finishes its initialization. If the new expansion canister exhibits any problems, contact your customer and technical support representatives for assistance and guidance in resolving the issue. Locate the storage shelf bezel that was removed. Insert the bezel key and rotate the key either to the right or to the left so that the metal locking tab is positioned vertically. The storage shelf bezel is notched on the left-hand side. This notch is inserted into a metal tab on the left-hand front side of the storage shelf chassis. Once the bezel is inserted into the notch on the chassis, the bezel can be moved into position against the front of the storage shelf and locked into place. You may have to press against the front of the bezel firmly in order to compress the RFI shielding while rotating the key in order to lock the bezel into position. Once you have the bezel in place, check to confirm that you can see the storage shelf status lights through the storage shelf indicator windows on the lower left-hand side of the storage shelf bezel. If the bezel is not aligned correctly, remove and refit the bezel until the indicators clearly show the status of the storage shelf. Remember to return the bezel keys to the customer if you obtain the bezel keys from them. Now that you have completed the replacement of the component, contact the customer and confirm that they are satisfied with the repair. After completing the hardware replacement procedures, Symantec recommends that you do the following. Remove all boxes and shipping containers from the installation area. Recycle materials as much as possible, and return any equipment or tools as needed.